So I was in the Swindon when I was looking around. It was horrific. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the free trading game collection challenge, the series where I look to build a video game collection without spending any money on it. We do spend money in the series though. We go around and buy video game related items, whether that be video games themselves or bundles with consoles or whatever it may be, and we flip part of that on to get the money back, and in some cases we make profit, and then we take whatever's left over into CEX generally, and we get a voucher and we buy whatever we want. The most recent pickup, of course, was Resident Evil on GameCube, and we picked up Resident Evil Revelations on the PS4. I did pick it up on the Wii U originally, but then I decided to put that back and we picked up the PS4 version. With £2 in credit left over, we will take that into CEX and trade a couple of other things in as well to get more credit. I was hoping to have a few other things by now, but at the moment all I have is that Wii that they rejected in the last episode. If you watched the last episode and for some reason you still haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. 70%, although that's come down a little bit now because I've had a lot of subscribers in the last week or so. I would say about 68% of people who watch these videos are no longer subscribed. So if you do want to enjoy today's video, consider subscribing. You can always unsubscribe in the future. If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can. You can check out what football shirts I'm picking up. This is my most recent pickup, or at least it was until earlier today. Check that out later on. I should be posting another couple of things there. Anyway, today we go to Game. Now, my local Game, one of the only surviving games still in the country. If you're not from the UK, Game is basically, as it says on the tin, a video game store. It sells primarily just video games. Now, unfortunately, and I said this before, the reason that I don't think they're going to last very long, because they have closed a lot of stores in the UK, and they've been moving into like Sports Direct and a few other places as well. Like House of Fraser took a lot of them on originally, and then House of Fraser went bust. So I think Sports Direct is the only place you can actually find Game now, unless there is a like an actual game store, but very few of them exist. That my argument with them, and the reason I think that they're going to close completely, is because they don't embrace the trends. So right now people love retro games, they love retro video game collecting, and even I would say like Xbox 360, PS3 era, it's making a big sort of surge at the moment, and prices are starting to go up and people are buying them. But Game don't care. Game will focus on the newer consoles and maybe one generation back. So you can pick up Xbox One and PS4 stuff there, but for example, if I wanted to go in and buy a Wii U, I couldn't. And they don't sell any of the games or the Wii or anything like that either, which is, in my opinion, a mistake. They should definitely dabble in retro and go back to Mega Drive and SNES and N64 and stuff like that, but they don't. My local Game closed down, so one of the only ones left existing, I'm sure there are a few, but none that I know of. I don't know if I couldn't name one place now that has a Game that is still open. So I had to go all the way to Swindon to have a little look in their store. And they've still got their 3 for 2 on. Of course, they're just very, very small sort of sections of the store now. In fact, they blend in so much, you'd argue that you would never know it was there unless you were looking for it. So I was in the Swindon when I was looking around. It was horrific. There was a guy in the way, member of staff, who just had absolutely no self-awareness whatsoever. He was in the way of all the Xbox stuff. There was a guy behind me trying to look at something above me. I was trying to look at some PS4 stuff. There was just no room. It was an absolute mess. And in the end, I walked out of there with nothing. There was nothing on the PS4 that I really wanted. I could see a few things on the Xbox I was kind of half interested in, but like I said, I couldn't get near it. And I waited a while, and he just wouldn't move. I know I could have gone up to him and said, "Excuse me, can I have a look?" But I just couldn't be bothered, so I left. And we left empty-handed. But then, I was in Gloucester a few days later, and I actually picked up some stuff. This was when the minute silence, was it a minute or 2 minute silence, for the Queen happened at midday. The member of staff behind the counter did not care. I was in England, so I was a bit surprised. I thought everyone in England cared. Apparently not. He did not care. He was breaking down boxes. I was still looking at games, to be fair. I didn't care either. But he was proper going for it, and he was making a lot of noise. I think someone told him to shut up in the end, because he eventually did. But we spent £15 or £14.98. Keep looking down, because I have the receipt in front of me, just to prove that I'm not lying, and I am where I said I was. There's the top of the Game receipt, and it says Gloucester on it as well. It is a big shame that these stores have sort of, gone away in a way, because it is a really, like, apart from online now, in actual retail sense, where do you get new games from now? I don't have a game near me, so what? I'm looking at supermarkets. CEX don't have them unless people trade them in. That's it. There is nowhere else. HMV possibly. Do they still sell games? I'm not sure. So yeah, there's just nowhere to get new games. So if I need a new game now, I need to wait for CEX to get it in, or I need to buy it online. Generally, like things like FIFA, I'll buy digitally, but still. Picked up 3 games, got the 3 for 2. I got a really good deal on 2 of them. Well, a really good deal on 1, but a decent deal on the other. And then the one game I actually kind of regret picking up. Obviously, I won't be able to take it back now. I'll go through the least exciting one first. This is one I've looked at before. I do want the first one. This is the second. I have played the first. I haven't really played much of the second. It is State of Decay 2. That is a banger of a game. Love zombie survival. Of course, it is Xbox exclusive. Yes, I can get all these on Game Pass. I'm pretty sure I can get all of these actually on Game Pass. But we're all about collecting physical copies of things. No manual, I don't think. No, there is no manual. But the disc, I haven't actually checked the condition of the disc. It looks fine. I'm actually looking forward to sitting down and playing that. I did enjoy the first one. It did get a little bit repetitive in the end. But I'm all about zombie survival games. I kind of like only venturing out when you absolutely have to, building up your community, keeping defenses and things. That game is obviously a little bit more in terms of go out and have some fun killing zombies and things, but I like it. You know, for $4.99, of course it is 3 for 2, so we're not going to pay the full price for this. I think that's a good deal. The next one, we'll go for the most expensive one. Now this was the mistake. I've not seen anything about this before, didn't know anything about it. Looking back now, you can get this half price of what I paid, kind of, in CEX. It is Desperados 3 on the PS4. Now, why have I gone straight for the third when I know nothing about this series and I haven't picked up the second or the first game? It's a good question. I wasn't railroaded get it, into this by any stretch of the imagination, but it was getting a little bit crowded in there, and I'd been in there a little while and I hadn't picked anything up, so I decided that looked like a game I could get on board with, so I decided, why not, let's just pull the trigger and pick that up. It looks like a game I think I would enjoy. It's got obviously a full it's classed as a hardcore tactical stealth game. That doesn't really sell it to me, but the fact that it's very story driven and it looks a lot like a game that I would enjoy, I wanted to pick it up. But £10 effectively we paid for it. That's what the sticker says. CEX sell this for a £5, so I made a bit of a mistake there. We are going to claw some of our money back with the next game and the final game, which is The Escapists 2. It's quite a boring game. That and State of Decay I think is a pretty everyday run-of-the-mill kind of situation. I do like these games a lot. And that was only $4.99. It actually trades in for the exact same amount in CEX as that. So if you could go into Game, for example, pick up 3 of these, whether it be on the Xbox or the PlayStation or a mix of both, because they both trade in for a £5, you would spend £10 and get £15 worth of credit. That is something that I really wanted to do at some point. But unfortunately now, I mean, it's not going to be impossible. I can do it. I'd have to do a little bit of due diligence before I actually went into a game store. But now that I can't just walk into town and go straight into Game, we have a Sports Direct, but apparently there's no plans to put one in there, so it is what it is. But those 3 games will go into the collection. Like I said, I feel like I've made a bit of a mistake with Desperados 3. I've overpaid for that, but we did make it back in those 2 because it would cost you I think £8 to get this in CEX, where it's cost me £5, obviously minus the discount. Same with State of Decay 2, I think that's about £6, so we've made a little bit back, and that kind of makes up for Desperados 3. But 3 very solid games for £15. Could have definitely binned that off and gone for something else that was a £5. If I'd used my brain and looked it up, because I didn't, I only just found this out now when I looked at it, I could have picked up, because they had another one of these, could have picked up another one of them, and then kept those 2 for the collection, which would have cost me £10, and then I could have gone and traded Escapists 2 in, which means we could have got those for £2.50 each, effectively. And looking back, I definitely should have, but we've got that. I'm not going to complain about it now. I don't think you can take them back, because obviously you could easily take them home, play them, and take them back and say, oh no, I don't want this. So unless there's something wrong with it, which I'm not going to like take a knife to it or anything, but Yeah, there we go. There's the receipt. £15 spent. Don't know if that's going to focus. I do apologise if it doesn't. In the next episode of the free trading game collection challenge, I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the Wii into trade, and we're going to pick up some games. I'm kind of hoping to be able to get some more things to trade in by then. I've got a boot sale over the weekend, so hopefully we can pick up something there. But if you have enjoyed this episode of the free trading game collection challenge, do me a favour and hit the like button. I put the updated figures on screen for you, obviously. We've deducted £15, I'm going to round it up, from the overall cash profit. And then we are going to add £15 to the overall collection value, because that's basically what I paid. But hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. Subscribe if you haven't, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.